Hey guys, it's Miss Hall here with the next video for Boost, and today's video we're going to go a little bit deeper into something that we've already started. So we've already started talking about characters and characterization, but today we're going to talk about it with a little bit more detail. So first, a little review. Remember, we talked about characterization, and characterization is the techniques that are used by an author to reveal the characters in a story. And sometimes it's direct, meaning the author tells you about the character, he is a nice guy. And sometimes it's indirect, meaning you have to figure it out based on the way the character acts, things he says, things other people say about him. For example, if he's always helping people when they get in trouble, we can infer that he is a nice guy, and that would be indirect characterization teaching us about the character. We've also already talked about the different types of characters. Most stories have major and minor characters. Major are the ones that are focused on and that the story is mostly about, and minor are the ones that impact them in some other way. The protagonist is usually the major character that the story is centered around, and the antagonist is the sort of opposing force to the protagonist. Now, for today, we're going to use an example from my favorite Disney movie, Aladdin. And if you look at the picture here, it's pretty easy to tell who's major and minor. There are 4 pictures of Aladdin and of Jasmine in this picture. So you can tell those are the major characters. All of the others are minor. Aladdin is our protagonist, and Jafar, down there in the bottom corner, is our antagonist. Now, in this example, I'm using a children's story, Aladdin, and it's pretty simple that the good guy is the protagonist and the bad guy is the antagonist. It's not always that easy. Sometimes the protagonist is not good and the antagonist is not bad. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we talk about the different types of characters within the main character. Now, there are some other terms that we use when we talk about characters that you may not be as familiar with. One way that we describe characters is either being flat or round. And a flat character is a character that really has only one side to their personality. An example of this would be the Sultan from Aladdin. He's always kind of goofy and giggly and loves his daughter. We don't really see a dark side to him or a sneaky side to him. He's just sort of the happy dad. A round character is a character that has lots of sides, multiple sides to their personality. An example of this is Aladdin, right? We know Aladdin is a good guy, but sometimes he steals, and he's very sweet to Jasmine, but then he lies to her. So his character is very round. Two more terms that we use when we talk about characters are static and dynamic. A static character is a character who doesn't change or grow or learn over the course of the story. And an example of this would be Jafar. Jafar is evil at the beginning, he's evil at the end. Even though stuff happens to him, he doesn't learn from it, he doesn't change, he keeps trying to get the kingdom for himself. He is static. He doesn't learn from things that happen, he doesn't grow in any way. Princess Jasmine, on the other hand, she's what we call a dynamic character. She does change, she does grow, she does learn. At the beginning, she is not interested in a husband, and she is fighting it. But by the end, she's grown to love Aladdin and wants to be his wife. All right, so there you have it. That's just a little bit more detail on characters and characterization. Make sure you're familiar with the concept of flat and round and static and dynamic when you're talking about characters. I'm going to ask you to apply that as we read 13 Reasons Why.